The Madman! I got a cool one for you today. This is Legends of Runeterra, Riot's League of Legends based card game. I'm not sponsored to bring you this video. I did, however, get early access. Thank you, Riot. The content shown here is not final. Let me know if you're interested in seeing more Legends of Runeterra content. So let's begin with the basics. When you start the game, you're given 3 basic decks. These are decks which feature 2 of the regions of the 6. There's a Demacia Freljord deck, there's a Noxus Shadow Isles deck, and then there's an Ionia, Piltover, and Zaun deck. There are 6 total regions in the game, and when you build a deck, you're building a 40 card deck using cards from exactly two regions. This game is based off of League of Legends, so of course champions are some of the strongest cards out there in the game. You're allowed 6 champions in a deck, and I believe that it's probably always right to run exactly 6 champions in a deck. It's probably usually right to run multiple of the same type of champion, but in this case, just because I'm trying to show off multiple types of champions, I'm going to run 6 one-ofs. So first of all, let me take out the boring Mighty Poro, 3 mana 3/3. And let's put in, how about a Fiora, and how about a Ashe. There's some cool stats here. Mana curve, champions, units, spells. You can look at cards for more detail. Clicking on a card, right-clicking on a card gives you the level 1, the level 2. All champions have level up ability. You have the champion spell, which is something that you draw when you already have a certain champion in play. The other champions turn into this spell. So that's nice, and it shows you the card and all related cards. And also, you can look at beautiful card art in full screen display. This account, given that I have special early access, has 3 of every card. By the way, you can put 3 of each card in your deck. But normally, you gather these cards by crafting them using wild cards. You can convert the wild cards into cards, any card of the appropriate rarity. Wild cards are obtained through natural progression, as well as you can spend real money to buy coins, and you can spend coins to buy wild cards. Or if you gain more of a card that you already have 3 copies of, you get shards, and you can also use shards to craft things. Now let's see this basic deck in action. I'm just going to go up against an AI so I can explain fundamentals of the game. Both players begin the game with 4 cards apiece. There's a mulligan phase. You get to choose which cards to replace. I would recommend replacing the high cost cards. Maybe there are some cards in the game. Maybe there are some cards in your deck that are key critical cards, such as certain champions that you would want to keep even though they're high cost cards. I don't know much about the game yet, so we're just gonna mulligan all the high cost cards and hope to get lower cost cards. So this is a little bit interesting and very unique. Players alternate taking turns. Like, that's not a surprise, right? But I do a thing, they do a thing. Note that we both started at 1 mana, and next turn we'll both have 2 mana. We alternate between who's the attacker and who's the defender. Randomly, I was chosen to be attacking first. They played a Teemo. I'm going to go ahead and attack with my 2/1. Teemo is probably better than my guy. My Fleet Feather Tracker has the Challenger ability, and I can just right-click the card and scroll over the ability to see what it does. This allows me to choose which unit to block, and I can even look at Teemo and see what Teemo does. Teemo has the ability of Nexus Strike, so when Teemo attacks my Nexus, they're going to plant Poison Puff Caps on random cards in the enemy deck. Poison Puff Caps. Looks like they deal 1 to my Nexus when activated. So looks like Teemo is a minor nuisance. I don't even really know if it's better than my 2/1, but I will challenge it nonetheless. So normally the opponent gets to choose what to block with, if they want to block, but in this case I am challenging Teemo. Great. Since we both have 0 mana, there's really nothing we can do to react. But there are reactions in the game. So each round, we build up another crystal point, mana point. They spent their first turn to play a card, and then I passed, I don't have anything to play. They played another card, and then they took an action to attack. I don't have anything, so I can't block. So bam, I took 2 damage. Note that even though I didn't manage to play anything, the 2 mana that I had was converted into spell mana. This spell mana can only be spent for spells, but it can be stored indefinitely, which means that if you're just passing your turn 2 because you have nothing to play, well, oh well, at least you can spend that 2 mana later on spells. So I'm gonna start off with an Avarosan Marksman, deal 1 damage to an enemy unit, bam.
Fresh tracks.
Note that this ability can be responded to. Maybe the opponent has a buff card and they would play it in response to my ability. In this case, they don't have one though. Radiant Strike, for example, gives an ally +1/+1 this round, and it's a burst spell. Spells come in 3 flavors: burst, slow, and fast. I'll explain what that means in the appropriate time. I could choose to attack, but I do not want to, because if I attack, unlike Hearthstone, you don't just attack face, you don't just attack the enemy minions, you just declare that you're attacking, and the opponent gets to block. The opponent has quick attack, which is while attacking strikes before its blocker, so not quick attack while blocking. If I attacked, I would just trade it for a 1/1. I could trick the opponent, play the Radiant Strike, give a +1/+1, trade my Radiant Strike for a 1/1 Nimbo Paro. I don't think that's worth it, so I'm going to pass.
Welcome to my humble estate.
My opponent spent their first turn playing a 4 mana card. They could have decided to attack first, and indeed sometimes it's worth it to just declare the attack as the first action before your opponent can also react by playing their own cards. I'm going to play Laurent Bladekeeper, give my guy +2/+2. So they've chosen to attack with everything. You don't have to. I'm going to value block the 1/1
There won't be a warning.
with the 2/3 and the 5/3. Let the 3/3 go ahead and hit me. Attacks go from left to right. The opponent has played a fast spell. This is Recall, to recall an ally. What does that do? Return a unit to hand and remove all effects applied to it. Note that this is a fast spell, which means that I can respond to it. If I had a fast spell, I could, maybe like a fast deal 1 damage spell, I could use it on this Nimbo Poro, and then the opponent wouldn't be able to recall it. But alright, you get a recall. Damage does stay. Of course, I glossed over it, but the left number is the attack and the right number is the health. Also, the top left number is the mana cost to play a card. I just glossed over it because it seems so obvious at this point, but for you people who have never played a card game, that's what it is. Top left to spend the mana. We're up to round 5, so I can spend up to 5 mana worth of stuff now. Or I can just start off by declaring attacks, because I don't want my opponent to declare attacks. Also cool is that we can see that there's a Nimbo Poro up there. Because they returned it, so it's a face-up card. I'll start off by summoning Avarosan Hearthguard. Allies in my deck get +1/+1. That seems pretty good. And it's a strong 5 mana 5/6. Opponent plays a 3 mana 5/2. I'm going to attack with the 5/6 and the 2/3. I'm going to keep my 5/2 back because I don't want my 5/2 to be blocked by their 3/3.
Show some respect.
So they're blocking my 2/3 with the 3/3. Looks like a good block. I'm a big dummy for attacking with a 2/3 into a 3/3, right? Or am I? Radiant Strike +1/+1. Now it's a 3/4. And that's value. I I had spent all of my mana, but I had the leftover 2 spell mana from turn 2, so I was able to flexibly use it in this case. As usual, following a mana curve is good. I'm just going to play my 6 mana 7/6.
Armed and ready.
Okay, I would say Teemo probably has some sort of plan here. This card is elusive, can only be blocked by an elusive unit. I don't have any, so Teemo's gonna get away with it. I wonder why they attacked with a 5/2. Do they have a plan? Or can I just block with my 2/1 and get value? We'll see. Unfortunately, I can't block Teemo, he's too sneaky. Ah, tricked! Health potion. Heal 3. Oh, never mind. Not a relevant trade.
Adventure starts with
Value trade for me. Teemo is planting 5 poison puff caps on random cards in my deck. So I could immediately, again, spend my first action to attack, and they've only got a 1/1 and a 1/1 to block. In fact, that seems like a pretty good idea. Let's do it. So sure, I could just drag them like this, and of course I can just drag them back if I change my mind. Or I could be really efficient. Let's say I want this one in the left side, and then I'm holding this, and I pick this guy up over here, and then pick this, and then bam! Put them out in the order. 1, 2, 3. Attack.
Vandal scouts are never afraid.
For 6 cost. I can look at the history. See what they just did, in case that was too fast. Flash of Brilliance. Create a 6+ cost spell in hand. Refill your spell mana. The spell mana is 3 mana, so that's like a 3 mana to get a 6+ cost spell in hand. Cool. So I do have give a damaged ally +3/+3. I have a battling ally strikes all battling enemies, which means that I could have my 7/6 just attack with the 1/1 and the 1/1 right now. That seems pretty good. Gets rid of the blockers. Lets me do damage through.
Push on without me.
I don't even take retaliation damage. Oh! Apparently, just the act of getting blocked does make it so you don't deal damage. I'm new to this game too.
I love it.
Finding things out together.
Treasure is the bonus.
Let's play our big Tryndamere
My
hero.
blade grows restless.
I got here first.
Got an elusive 8 mana 6/6. Ah, it's a Teemo shroom. That being elusive means I'm actually really close to dead. Imagine losing to the AI. Imagine losing to a Teemo shroom. Okay, well let's just attack with everything. I could attack first, but the opponent's low on cards. Why don't I play this marksman first, deal with one of the chump blockers.
Hear that? Can't afford to miss.
And I'm gonna hold off on playing anything. Oh, no. I'm gonna play this as well and heal me.
Come on in.
Because cards I play can immediately attack. Let's go ahead and attack. Does not really matter in what order I attack in here. Though, sometimes with certain decks it will matter which ones you attack with. The left one would attack first. So I'm just gonna haphazardly pick up everything and put them on the field here. But note, again, if you did have a certain order that was important, like I really want my 3/4 to attack first, and then my 5/6, then my 7/6, and then I want my weak unit, and then I want my strong units in the back, you could do that.
Back off, buddy.
I was thinking about saving my deal 1 damage guy for after combat to hit the 6-6 after this 5-2. What did they just do? What in the world was that? Swap 2 allies, give them barrier. Well, I've got a Take Heart. That elusive guy is really spooky. I give this +3/+3.
Hey,
Hunted down.
Oh, the opponent didn't even block my lethal. Okay, then we're good. Or perhaps couldn't block my lethal? I had a few cards with Overwhelm, which means that the damage carries over. Currently, when you have your new account, looks like you're in the prologue stage. You get some cool stuff as you are playing through matches. I just got a bonus quest. So that's Legends of Runeterra. Clearly a game that is pulling from a lot of genres of card games. Again, let me know if you'd like to see more Legends of Runeterra.